man is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the ring got messed up. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the liver. You know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I'm saying? But oh, look at that! Oh my God!
This is your boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash to try and find out. Back at it with another Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War commentary video for you guys, and this is a very interesting topic because the Olympics starts this Friday. I'm assuming the ceremony starts this Friday, rather, or the actual games. But either way, they start later on this week. But they might get canceled. Yeah, they might get canceled. So there have not been word of, oh, there's no turning back now with the Olympics. In fact, we've been hearing the opposite, not the total opposite, but the opposite nevertheless, saying basically, yo, we can't rule out canceling the Olympics. That's the word right now. So there is a possibility that the Olympics could be canceled. Now the question is, should it be canceled though? That's the question. So I want to address this by looking at 4 factors. You got to consider 4 factors when deciding whether or not the Olympics should be canceled or not. 1, the athletes. 2, the local community, aka the citizens of Japan. 3, worldwide impact. And 4, finances. So in terms of them canceling, what would happen if they were to indeed cancel? I have no clue. I don't follow the Olympics like that. I'm not an expert, not even close to being an expert on the Olympics. I do watch the Olympics games, but I'm not an expert. Like, for example, because it was supposed to happen last year, and this goes on a 4-year cycle. So the next Olympics is supposed to happen in 2024, but since they pushed it back to 2021, does that mean that the next Olympics at 2025 to maintain that 4-year cycle, or is it still in 2024? And if they cancel again this year, what they're gonna do? Push it back to 2022, and then the next one will still be in 2024 or 2025 or 2026. It's weird. It's very, very weird. It's obviously all because of the pandemic. This is all new territory right here. So nobody is an expert on this. Nobody knows exactly what to do. Nobody came up with any precautions in terms of, oh, what would happen if this happened? So there's that. So we don't know what would happen if they were to cancel. So let's look at the 4 factors here. Let's talk about the athletes. So in terms of what happens if they cancel, that's why that is important actually, because of the fact, hey, if they cancel, does the athletes have to like forfeit their spots and try to qualify again? Do they maintain their spots for another year? Assuming they push it back another year, because we don't know they're going to push it back another year, or are they just going to cancel it altogether and say, okay, we just going to cancel it altogether. The next one will be in 2024, 2025, whatever the case may be. We don't know what they're going to do. So in regards to the athletes that are looking forward to competing this year, again, it's a tough one to call. I don't know like what you have to do to qualify, because I'm assuming it's different in every country, but it's a very touchy subject for these athletes, because some of these athletes have been waiting their entire lives to compete for the Olympics. And this might be their one and only shot right here. Because even if they cancel it, they might not be able to participate again. So who knows? It varies by the athlete. Like, if this was like Team USA in terms of basketball, man, they would be, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer for them. Especially the men, because the men's basketball team look at the Olympics and say, yeah, this is a cool little achievement. This is a nice little award, but it's all about the NBA championship. That's the top prize. But other countries would look at the Olympics and say, yo, winning at the Olympics is the top prize. So it's varied by person. It varies by person. So it's hard to say. It's hard to consider, you know, like, oh, every single athlete that competes say, oh, they shouldn't compete. They should hold out next year, or they willing to drop out and try to re-qualify, or they may be old, so they won't be able to qualify anyway, or whatever the case may be. Is up in the air. Now, let's look at the local community, aka Japan. Now, based on what I heard earlier today as I'm recording this video, they don't want it. They don't want the Olympics. Now, keep in mind, the reason why we are talking about this is because the pandemic is like going up in Japan. It's really, really bad in Japan. Not to mention, if memory serves it correctly, they do not have the vaccines, or they don't have them at a high capacity. So it's really, really bad in Japan right now, which is bad because I want to go back to Japan. But I guess we have to wait till next year or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But either way, it's bad in Japan right now. And the local community, the folks in Japan. Now, what I mean by folks, I don't mean like the local government. I mean like the citizens of Japan. They don't want it. Why they don't want it, I have no idea. But maybe because they can't go. Because originally the plan, well, as of late, the plan is nobody can attend. No matter where you're coming from, nobody can attend unless you're like a cameraman, unless you're an athlete, unless you're a referee, a judge, and things of that nature. Coaches and all that, like the trainers and all that stuff. But if you're like an audience member trying to show up and watch, no, that's not going to happen because of the pandemic. So that could be the reason why Japan don't want it, because, oh, we can't be there, then why have it? You know, that might be the mindset that they have. And I can understand that mindset. So I can't like knock them and say, oh, they should not have it, whatever the case may be, because I don't know. It's weird. Now, in terms of a worldwide scale, that would involve me speaking for you and the rest of the world, and I don't like to do that. But I know certain parts of the world, they want the Olympics because, again, it's the same in the athletes. So, like, for us in America, this is all opinionated right here. For us in America, I think how we looking at it is we don't care that much about the Olympics. Like, we care, but it's not like it's the one-all be-all, especially for those of us who watch NBA games in whatever other sport that might be out there, like tennis, for example. I think I saw something about baseball as well. So it's not the one-all be-all because our respective leagues in America, we consider that to be the one-all be-all. That is especially true for the NBA. So there's that. But in terms of the rest of the world, I don't know how they might feel about it. Like, this to them might be their, like, yo, this is the cream of the crop. This is the one-all be-all for the rest of the world who are watching from home, wherever the case may be. So how I see it is varies again. But me personally, if they were to cancel and push it back another year, they were to cancel and say, okay, we're going to do it again in 2024 or 2025, whatever the case may be, I would not mind. I would not care either way. If we do have the Olympics, yeah, I'll be watching. But if they cancel it, I won't lose sleep over it. I'll say that as well. Now, let's look at finances. So this already affected Japan, because if they're not allowing people to show up, that means people can't buy tickets. So this already affected Japan. Now, I don't know how finances will affect the rest of the world. You know, I don't know. Oh, if this guy representing their country wins gold, do he bring back a bunch of money for his country? I don't know what, you know, if there's like a prize aside from the gold medal. I don't know how it works. But in terms of finances, it's already affected Japan. And I'll be honest, Japan should, in that case, should try and push it back another year, like, so they can get the finances. Because if memory serves it correctly, you're bidding to have the Olympics, meaning you got to pay money to have the Olympics. Therefore, you need to make that money back. And Japan, at this point in time, as far as I know of, is not making that money back. So there you go with that. So now with all that out the way, let's look at it like this. So what do I think should happen with the Olympics this year? So from an athlete's perspective, I'm going to play it safe and say, yo, they should play, because, again, some of those athletes, this might be their last shot to compete in the Olympics because of age restriction. You don't know what might happen in the future. They might get a career, suffering injury. So I say in that perspective, you know, they should play because of the athletes. In terms of the local community, I can't speak for them, say, oh, they should play despite what the local community say. So in that case, I would say cancel it. If you're looking at it from the local community standpoint, I would say cancel it. If you're looking at the worldwide aspect, I mean, they can wait another year. They can wait until 2024. I would say cancel it as well. And then from a financial standpoint, I say cancel it, because Japan need to make that money. They need to make that money. They getting no money. They losing money for having the Olympics. Therefore, 3-1, I have to say cancel it. They should just cancel it, because 3 out of the 4 factors that I'm looking at, it make more sense to cancel it as a but again, if they want to consider the athletes, then I'll say, yo, you keep it going. But outside of that, that's the cancel it. That's where I stand when it comes to the Olympics. And I'm gonna call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.